Episode 188. The Machinist quests up to this level require you to access the northern half of the Sea of Clouds, a place that is restricted until you reach a certain point in the main story quests that gives you access to that part. There's no connection point between the southern half and the northern half, just due to the fact that they're floating islands, so that means Komori is actually going to have to give up on this whole Machinist questline thing and do the main story. That's what I would say if I wasn't a dirty cheater. I actually decided to bribe a player just to fly me over to XIV so I could unlock the Aetherite there. If the developers of Final Fantasy XIV really wanted players to do this quest in the main story after they've unlocked this area the natural way, then they would have, I don't know, blocked it off in the actual quest menu or when you accept the quest, that you actually have to do the main story up to a certain level or something. It cost me only 100 gil, and in my inventory this one Albit that I was carrying around from the Palace of the Dead wasn't a loss though. I already unlocked that minion, so it was just a duplicate. In lore, we can just say that Komori bribed this airship ticketer with the same bribe that I gave that player, to let her get a ticket over to this part of the Sea of Clouds that we could normally get to anyway. I mean, there's no lore reason we can't be here, right? If we can fly over here to Clamp Cloud Top, we can fly over here. So even though it's earlier than we should be in the story, let's just hop on over to XIV, pretend we don't see these birdmen and they don't see us, because we're going to see them later, and just do what we came here for. These... what are these? Lightning crystals in baskets? Whatever. Are these the Zundu or the Vundu? I guess they're the Zundu based on the last name Zundu right there in the name. Right? Yeah, XIV, so they'd be the Zundu, which means the Vundu are the enemies. Not that we know anything about the differences between these two yet. That'll come later in the story, I suppose. What am I doing? I should be mounted up. At least I mounted up while riding, or while running. I'm not sure if there's much difference between this northern area and the southern area in terms of landscape design. Maybe there's more Vundu, Zundu architecture or something. Just seems more like floating grass and trees and stuff. The same as we always saw. We're higher up though, slightly. What's so special about this area that we had to do this part of the Machinist questline over here? Well, I guess it's the, what is it, the level 58 Machinist quest, so I guess they just want you in the level 58 area. Ah, and I guess we leveled up from finding a new area. Those experience points are cheated in, basically, since I had to have someone fly me over here. What's this weather? I think this is a rare weather thing. Pretty sure I didn't see this last time. Umbral wind. Green wind, I guess. Alright, here we are, the Vundu. Ignore us, we're just here to steal from you. Oh, here we are. Oh, we should get out our own chocobo. I think in terms of gear, we're actually doing pretty badly. Not terribly, but kind of on the lower end right now. Our gear is the level 50 gear, which is the stuff that you get from Rowena's supplier, or whoever you would call that. Which is the endgame gear from the previous expansion, that being the base game, Realm Reborn. Which was, of course, the highest item level that you can get. And that usually tends to be good up until like level... well, I think around level 56 or 7 or 8. That's when the item level starts to go beyond anything that you can get from the previous expansion. That kind of tends to be the general trend, I think. Which is, I guess, a reward for grinding out all of that high item level stuff in the patch quests and everything. It just means that you don't have to worry about getting all that gear when you're playing the hot new expansion or whatever. I don't want to deal with all of these guys. We can make this other guy disappear, right? There we go. Still trying out these new audio settings. Hopefully it's not something that doesn't get filtered out, the background noise. Or even when I'm talking, not something that shows up too badly. Alright, we got what we needed. And we'll get out of here as quickly as possible just because I guess this is technically spoilery, even though it's just grass and trees and architecture. Oh wait, we got return. I wonder how much of the game was intended for, well, designed around players not being able to ride pillion, which is riding on the passenger seat on someone else's mount if it's capable of multiple passengers. Then you can do workarounds like I just did, but it's not really a huge workaround. Probably not much they have to worry about. Well, Stephanivian, you sent us on an impossible task, just so that he wouldn't have to work on the damn mana cutter. I understand what you're trying to do, yes. But we got them anyway. Your stupid lightning crystals. For the machinistry marvel I have in mind, I shall have need of the clear lightning crystals found in the Sea of Clouds. It's too bad no one can go there. Ah, yes, these are wonderful specimens. These crystals shall allow me to broaden the capabilities of your Transformer via a more efficient process of energy conversion. I only hope it will be impressive enough to convince our instructor to abandon his foolish course. Yeah, we'll help you with your instructor or whatever this was, but we haven't forgotten. You're working on the mana cutter. Oh, we got the drill too. It's the best button for the machinist in the game, I think. I guess we also got this by leveling up. Guess we didn't need a quest thing for that. Oh yeah, keep that there. Dismantle. Another utility thing. It's actually one of the weird things that the other ranged DPS classes don't get. Just a thing to lower the damage dealt by the enemy. I mean, you get the Tactician, which is basically the same thing by increasing your defense, or whatever, of the whole party. And all of the range classes get a version of this, Troubadour or Shield Samba. But Machinist is the only one that gets an extra thing to lower the damage dealt of the enemy, specifically. Which is, I guess, good for tank busters or whatever. Just one of those unique things about Machinists, I guess. It's good if classes can be unique from others. I think there's like a big thing, a pain point, that classes are starting to homogenize, be really similar to each other, lose their uniqueness with the current direction. I don't know the full understanding of that because I haven't played all the classes, but I think there are some classes that I have played where I'm beginning to see that. Including Black Mage, but I haven't really played Black Mage that much. Still, I guess we'll see as we get closer to the new expansion. Hopefully, well, hopefully I'll like it. And everyone else, of course, but my likes come first. Anyway, Stephanivian. Oh, we're still on the level 58 quest. I think this was like a 2-part level 58 thing. To give you the drill ability and then give you the actual rest of the quest. Another thing where they had to split it in two so that you could actually get the ability before the plotline was over, I suppose. One of our machinists just returned to report on the situation with Rosenthal. It would seem that Joy and some few colleagues have caught up to him in the pillars. Pray make your way to the scene, and persuade the instructor to stand down. Same dialogue. Right, the tribunal. I guess this is where we had our court trial, huh? Maybe we don't want to get too close here. We did basically do an illegal move just now, going to an area we're not supposed to be. Oh, this looks pretty illegal in itself, too. Yeah, I think if they ever find out that we bribed that airship ticketer or whatever I'm pretending to do, they'll probably have to make me go to another trial by combat, or worse. Send me to jail. Just give the courtroom a wide berth. Should have known you'd be along. Now back off before I teach this student the meaning of point blank. What exactly are you doing? I'm talking to you as well, Joy. Step aside. I bloody well will not step aside. Komoy, take the fight out of him with a slug shot if you please. So that's how it's gonna be, eh? Come on then. We'll see who shoots who first. Joy? Komoy, you've got to stop him. Seems like she lost in a shootout with Rosenthal. I was beginning to think maybe she would win in a fight against him, but I suppose the teacher still hasn't succeeded the master, or whatever. Anyway, we get to kneecap one more person. I thought we were done with this, again. But here we are, kneecapping Rosenthal, our own teacher. He taught us everything about kneecapping, and here we are doing it to him. He said, let's see who shoots who first, but he's not taking a shot. That's just like Rosenthal, isn't it? Always playing coy and hard to get or whatever. He wants us to kneecap him. Well, we'll do you proud. We probably shouldn't have done that in front of the courtroom. Bloody hells, that was fast. Your students ever strive to impress you, Rosenthal. And 'tis thanks to Komoy's diligence that I was able once more to improve the tools of our trade. Even very Sullen cannot stand against the advances we have made in both technique and technology. You must have faith that our machinists will prevail. And though I appreciate your eagerness to occupy a cell on my behalf, such a sacrifice will not halt Titelgunch's crusade against the manufactory. Aye, you might be right about that. He's right about more than just that. You've got to stop underestimating what we're capable of. I keep forgetting what a stubborn lot I'm dealing with. You're the ones what are challenging the very stones what Ishgard was built on. Alright, I won't give myself up, on one condition. I'll talk of contracts aside. You let me help in the fight against this very Sullen nightmare. You have always sought to avoid such entanglements before. What has changed? Stephanivian, please, he's just tsundere. It's a matter of penance. Back when I was still in charge of the Kudas, I lied to me subordinates. Instead of serving the Thalassocracy, I had them lads working to further me own agenda. It all came apart though, when I sent a glut of them to die off to die in a battle they had no business being in. Had me eyes on the Admiral's chair, see? What kind of Admiral would do that? It was reckless and selfish, and got a lot of good people killed. After they stripped me of rank, I drowned myself in drink, and took up the life of the worst kind of pirate. That soldier I tried to visit in Camp Overlook, he was one of me lads what survived. I've been sending him every coin I can spare to pay back me bloody debt, but there ain't enough guilt in the world what could buy off me guilt. And now years later I see a chance to undo the wrong I've done. A bunch of me students plan to charge into a situation they got no business being in, and I plan to see them come out of it alive. Well then, consider yourself invited to the battle. That's some pretty heavy stuff, Rosenthal. Come, meet us in a pre-battle drill, Rosenthal. Once more your skill at firearms has rescued the manufactory from peril. Let us head back there, shall we? I guess we knew he was a pirate with a colorful past, so to speak. You guys don't mind all of those bodies that were piling up, right? I guess we all got up and walked away. But yeah, I didn't really quite remember, well, that he was responsible for that kind of thing. I guess he's working to do some good now. Even if he has a funny way of going about it. I guess we didn't even need to use the new drill ability they gave us. They just split the level 58 quest into two. That was what happened, right? It wasn't a 56 and 58. That was two 58s, I think. I forgot to lower the noise. Well, this should be over quick, right? Hopefully. Komoi, there you are. I have sent word of our decision to Tito Grinch. Even with the instructor's added firepower, however, I fear this challenge will test us to our very limits. Rosenthal has vowed to stay with us, regardless of the term of his contract, until the sins of his past have been washed away in Very Sullen's blood. Let us then take advantage of every moment we have, from now until the battle, to hone our skills to a razor's edge. Okay. There, noise is better. And there we go, level 60. We get armor, which is item level higher than what we have, I'm pretty sure. A better slug shot, which is I guess the kneecap. I hope it does a cool flip, I don't remember. And then, yeah, it's just the same thing, it's just they have to put it into a trait for like mechanical reasons or something, I don't really know. A day has been chosen for a trial against Very Sullen. More than any that have come before, this battle shall be pivotal in deciding the future of the manufactory and machinistry boasts. Thus, ere we march forth to meet our fate, I would hold a celebration of all that we have accomplished. Okay, sure, why not? As has become customary, however, the principal players are nowhere to be found. Right. That tends to be a running theme. That's why nothing ever gets done on the Manicutter, huh? Pray head out into the city, and seek out Joy, Rosenthal, Celesto, and my father. Yeah. I better not have any, like, new problems or whatever. I'm pretty sure we solved everyone's backstories, right? I guess not Celesto. Celesto doesn't have a backstory though, right? He's not one of the real NPCs. I say that, but he's been in like every part of this questline, so I guess he's earned it. I'll head there right now, but before we do, Komoi, no more backstory for you. I wanted to thank you again for helping me find me way. I just got myself back to where I belong, and I ain't about to give up the workshop for a second time. Okay, it was just a thank you. Actually, that's probably what everyone is going to do. Guess we'll get that one last. Yeah, this would be the finale quest, wouldn't it, for when Machinist was first out, because obviously the highest level at the time was level 60, so they designed the entire questline up to level 50 and then up to 60 to be like one continuous plotline pretty much. Whenever a new expansion comes out and you get like extra quests like you do for the Black Mage from level 51 to 60 or so on, then 61 to 70, those quests tend to be kind of isolated from the previous stuff, but not so here. At least they tend to be until you actually completely isolate yourself from those, because they stop doing job quests, they start doing role quests, but that'll be far later. What, another bleeding celebration? I guess we never did get to have that first one. Ah, Komoy. I knew the first time I met you, you'd be a demon with a carbine, and bugger me if I weren't right. Yeah, I guess he liked the way that we shot him in the knee. Now look at us, ready to stand side by side against one of the biggest bloody dragons to ever raid a supply train. I'll get everyone through this though, don't you worry. How do they know it's going to raid that thing? Is that like its normal hunting grounds, that supply train or whatever? Its favorite mid-afternoon snack or something? Oh, in the broom? Or not? Maybe? It's hard to tell height. Oh, there he is. Hey, Celeste. I don't exactly remember your backstory if you ever mentioned it, but we're still cool, right? A feast, is it? I can already feel me belly rumbling. I also don't remember what kind of voice I gave him, like, in any episode. Sorry, Celeste. As always, the Chief works to make the manufactory a place where commoners like me feel welcome. He's done his best for us, and I mean to do me best for him, even if it means fighting that monster of a dragon. Just don't die on us. You have a name, so you're like, important enough for that, right? Not unimportant enough to die like a nameless mook or whatever. And what exactly is the Baron doing far below the pillars over here in the Foundation? By the chocobo stands, no less. Or is he here? I guess he's over in... Oh, there he is. What is this place anyway? Oh yeah, I think I hung out here, like, while I was touring Ishgard that first episode. Just some kind of place by the fire. What are you cooking? I know we've fallen on hard times, but you ever see a war ended by crying and complaining? Didn't think so. The moment we lose the resolve to keep going, it's all over. Yeah? Well, we're actually out there, trying to stop the war ourselves. What are you doing? Sounds like you're complaining to me. I say that, but we're kind of pausing the whole stopping the war effort. Not doing the main quest. I am invited to the manufactory. Well, well, how times have changed. Though I appreciate the gesture, I do not have a place at that table. I vowed to leave Skysteel matters to Stephanivian alone, and so I shall. Tell my son that I shall pray for victory, and the prosperous future that will grow from his success. Alright, more food for us. I guess he was kind of painted as like the villain of earlier questlines for the Machinist stuff, right? And then he turned around when we proved everything to him. Not exactly very supportive. So I guess I understand what he's saying, but I guess this isn't exactly being supportive right now, just like not being part of the celebration. But maybe he has a point. Oh, look at that. There's actually food laid out. You guys want any? Biggs, Wedge, Sid? You've been working a while. You deserve it. Komoy, you should have a nibble. It's all so delicious. I might gobble the lot myself. His lordship says this feast is courtesy of the Count. Oh, I guess he paid for the feast. Well, I guess he is being supportive. See, it's flavor like that that actually like adds stuff to the story. He walks off saying that he doesn't want to be part of it, but then, just through some some dialogue, one line just off in the corner here, you learn that he's actually trying to help out. Been a good while since I shared a drink with mates. Reminds me of old times, and mistakes I don't mean to repeat. I ain't eaten like this since, well, ever, to be honest. If this is to be my last meal, then I'll die a happy man. Great. He's raising his own death flags. I mean, I did that for him, but I didn't need him to do it too. Let's just hope he survives. I don't actually remember if he dies in this battle. No, surely not. Thank you for summoning everyone to the feast. And thank you for Father's message. Eat, drink, and be merry, my friends. Soon we shall introduce Very Selen to the Rage of the Machinists. Huh, Rage of the Machine. Rage of the Machinists. That's, is that going to be the episode title? It might very well be. For the Manufactory, and for Ishgard. For Ishgard. See how their eyes shine with determination? You were the perfect choice to act as my ambassador. You're just saying that because you're like legally obligated to stand right here as the NPC that gives people the machinist class. I guess there are some times when he's out of the office, but that's only when we have a quest. Ever has your presence been a boon to the Manufactory? I often wonder what would have become of us had you not chosen to walk the path of the machinist. Though our next battle will indeed be perilous, it shall also serve to demonstrate the pinnacle of our achievements. When Very Selen lies defeated in the snow, we shall have accomplished a deed that Titelgrinch and the Holy See believe nigh impossible. When you are ready to make history, join us at the site of the trial, in Corus's Western Highlands. Anything new? No? Okay, no new dialogue. What's in the blue stuff? Some kind of concoction? I guess we don't really get to have any. I guess we can eat something in spirit. What do we have? Bacon bread? Sure. We're celebrating with you, I guess. Ah, all the way over there. Guess we got a long fly ahead of us. At least we have flying, and at least it's in an area we don't have to cheat to get to. I guess ever since I unlocked flying, I never really saw the top of this place. Guess we could do a little bit of sightseeing. I unlocked the entire map when I was doing that one quest to find that chocobo, which was in this cave right here, and I thought the whole time it was like on top here. But this whole area up here is only accessible after you get flying, so... just one of those rare places that you can only see by doing what I'm doing now. Wow, look at that. What a sight. Hang on, let's get the proper view here. You can also like see it on the map. It's a dragon shape. So yeah, you can't get here without flying, and Lord knows I tried. I guess this is one of those things that you can only see while flying. Why is this even here? It probably isn't like some super cool fate that spawns here, right? It's such a cool set piece. I can't imagine a quest even takes you here. Look at that. That's the kind of thing you would say for the main story or something, right? If this really is just something that they put in the map so that players have something to see just by flying around or whatever, then good on them, I guess. If they have the time and the money for it. Can't stand on it, though. Oh, you can. This is pretty bad, actually, isn't it? The dragons are probably pretty mad about this. That's also a dragon over there, isn't it? If Estinian stories to be believed. I think that's it for like areas you can access by flying. I think I've been to the other area, like over here, Hemlock. Alright, sightseeing done. And what a sight to see, I didn't even realize I was there. I don't think I've ever seen that, not even on my main character. Is this a sight? Is that a dragon over there? Or is that just a rock? It is indeed a dragon. Plus some graves? No, fishing or something. Or just... Oh wait, that's a dragon too. Wow. Never realized how many dragons were littering about this place. I guess it's in this one specific area right here. Yeah, this is where like a big battle was. I guess mostly, to me, the Corsair's Western Highlands was just a bunch of snow and whatever. Maybe some pillars sticking out like you see. But I guess in this one area, it's distinct from the rest in that it's like a battleground. Oh, and they have this thing, which is part of the Dusk Vigil. I guess I never really gave the Dusk Vigil a decent look. A huge battlement or whatever. That fell due to those unfortunate circumstances after the calamity. Oh, there used to be a bridge here, yeah. That explains why there was like... Well, obviously this whole place wasn't frozen previously. Before the calamity. Oh wow, even the waterfall was frozen. So they needed like some way to get across the water, and it was this bridge. Guess I never realized that. You only see these kinds of things or think about them when you have a bird's eye perspective, I guess, or at least that's how it is for me. And these probably used to be walls that stuck straight up, or... No, I guess by the angle of the spears, they weren't sticking straight up, they were always facing out this way. Not sure why they would build it in the water that way, because the dragons can fly, right? I guess it makes it harder for them to land or something. Yeah, and here's the bigger dragon. Oh, it's also one of these, huh? That's pretty morbid. I guess we're about to have this quest in the area where a big dragon battle, or several big dragon battles once took place. Alright, so we got drill now. We can work that in with our this ability. What is this called? Assemble. Previously, we only had to use it on Hotshot, right? For the increased potency on that one. You want to use Assemble on your biggest potency attack, since it's huge damage or whatever, to get the guaranteed critical direct hit. Hotshot was our best bet for that, but due to the 40-second recast timer and the 55-second recast timer on this, we were left with the choice of either waiting for Reassemble to finish, like finish the recast so that we could use it on Hotshot, or using it on our next highest potency ability, which would have been the full combo on Clean Shot, which wasn't always the best choice, but actually that is stronger than Hotshot. I didn't realize that. Hotshot actually becomes stronger than the combo later on, which is why I was thinking that I had to use Assemble with Hotshot, but I guess at my current level it would have been better than Clean Shot. But it all doesn't matter now, because we have the best ability in the game for Machinist, the Drill, which is on a 20-second recast time, so we can almost always use it with Reassemble, and on the off chance that we can't, we can just use it on Hotshot or something. All I'm saying is that with the low recast time on this, low recast time on this, it should be weaved in pretty easily. With a lot of things, mainly Reassemble. Gonna have to start working it in. Just get the camera nice and zoomed out for a battle. I guess it's going to be a big dragon, so we might have to zoom out even more. Lord Teetlerench, my machinists are assembled. That's the ability we were just talking about, assemble. We now but await the arrival of the dreaded Very Sullen. Excellent. I am accompanied by a priest of the Holy See, who shall ensure that the trial proceeds in accordance with Asgardian law. A wagon has also been provided to tempt the talons of your quarry. The observatorium has been tracking the creature's movements. According to their calculations, Very Sullen and its entourage should fly over this pass within the hour. Should the machinists of Skysteel Manufactory satisfy the conditions of this trial by combat, either through victory or valorous deaths, then shall your innocence be proven and your honor redeemed. Should you choose to flee, however, I trust I need not elaborate further. What, you're going to kill us? You can try. Not that we're going to flee. We shall oversee proceedings from on high, that I might judge thine actions evenly, and with uninterrupted view, may justice be served. You better not be in Teetlegrinch's pocket. Your reverence, pray do not avert your eye should the scene become one of bloody carnage. You would not wish to deny these fine combatants a fair trial. My strategy for the battle is thus. Hit the beasts with everything we have. Far simpler than that strategy in that wargame you played, I guess. Deploy every turret and shoot every bullet. We shall bury Very Sullen under a hail of metal and fire. I'd say our bullets would blot out the sun if we weren't in Coruscant's Western Highlands, where that's always the case. We maybe want to start with this. Celestial, you say? Okay. Alright, it's up to us to not let Celestial die then. And here comes the crossbow. Big damage, big damage, big damage. I'm actually not sure if it's best to use the drill instead of the spread shot right now. I guess we'll use the spread shot. Oh wait. The mob is down. Bloody hells, it's massive. And that's the thing we gotta kill? We've seen bigger. Before Heavensward even. As Manufactory Chief, I have but one order for you all. Survive the battle. That means you, Celesto. What are you doing with your sword down there? Machinists, protect the fallen. Well, don't exactly rush to his aid. Take your time with it. Why do this? Why protect me? Should you but allow the dragons to do their bloody work, you'll be free to pursue your agenda. He makes an excellent point. Machinists, cancel order. I, and few could argue that you had earned it. After the grief you have caused, I should take what is left of your corpse and string it up for target practice. Wow, Stephanivian, that's pretty metal. But if my machinists are truly to be the spear and shield of Ishgard, we must defend all her citizens with equal zeal. A more noble knight than you could ever be. I fear that excessive association with commoners has softened your brain. The oath you have sworn, however, is indeed a knightly one. If you're done yapping, Lord Teetlegrind, we're a bit bloody busy here. Wag that tongue again, and it'll be the first thing I put a bullet through. You'd best heed her warning, old fellow. Joy is not one to give voice to idle threats. Until this day, I have but observed your battles from afar. What a perfect opportunity for me to evaluate your skills from a more intimate perspective. By the Fury, is he still speaking? Leave him, Joy. We have more pressing matters to attend to. Let us shoot a pass through these foes arrayed before us. Do we maybe have to protect Teetlegrind? I don't see a health bar for him. He might have to be protected. Oh, don't aggro on me. Aggro on the tank. That's Stephanipian, or no, Rosenthal. Were those instructions for me? Yup. Protect Teetlegrind. I think I made that mistake on my main character. Not doing that. Big damage, big damage. If we could just group up on everyone like this. Okay, don't actually drag the entire boss over to Teetlegrind, please. Oh, someone's healing us, thank goodness. Oh no, not Celesto. Don't worry, Celesto, we'll save you. Screw Teetlegrind, you're the one that matters. Okay, I think we saved him. By aggroing on every single mob in the game. Let's give him the Machinist special, running away while we fight. Alright, maybe smack Teetlegrind a little bit more with your AoEs, just a bit. Teach him a lesson, you know? Alright, maybe that's enough for Teetlegrind. that did more damage than I thought. Can we maybe end this with probably not. Okay, the explosion didn't quite end it, like I wanted to. I messed up the rotation there a bit. Well, despite my best efforts, Teetlegrind survived. We've done it. The damnable beast is dead. And you're alive, Celesto. I thank you for saving my life. The accusations against you shall, of course, be withdrawn. What, implying that they wouldn't have been withdrawn if we didn't save your life? I mean, like, I feel like he still would have been on our case even if we managed to defeat the dragon and he was resting easy up on his cliff there. The only way that we got him over to our side was by actually saving his life. So I guess it's a good thing the dragon attacked him, huh? Maybe. As a further token of my gratitude, I would offer you a boon. Speak your wish, and I shall do all within my power to grant it. A boon? You think one little favor will wipe the ledger clean of your steamin' shite? He's got a point there. Fortunately, my heart has but one desire. I will have your oath that henceforth you shall no longer oppose the rise of the Machinists, and never again seek to interfere in the operation of Skysteel Manufactory. Okay, I think that was implied that he was going to do that anyway. Maybe Stefanivian asked for like a little more? I don't know. His fancy shield or something? The one that's in like every shot? The one with his house's logo emblazoned on it? I'm sure it's pretty important. Is that all? No chests of coin? No promises of power? Not my fancy shield? The workings of your mind are truly an enigma to me. But you shall have my word on this, nevertheless. Indeed, we shall discover the best means by which your fine machinists might contribute to Ishgard's defenses. 'Tis only from behind a sturdy front line that a machinist's full potential is realized. Together with your knights, however, we will change the face of war. I guess he does have a pretty solid point there, yeah. He's always forward-thinking, this Stefanivian. Can't just have the machinists versus the knights the entire time. At some point you gotta start working with some knights, so I guess he's doing that now. Okay. Of course. You cannot yet do without the masters of the battlefield. May we strike fear into the hearts of our enemies, and ensure the continued prosperity of the Holy See. Fare you well, Lord Stefanivian. Well, that's that then. Thanks for letting me join you on this one, boss. I think I'm ready to move on now. You always say that. Joy, your aim's as sharp as your arpy tongue. Good work, lass. I nominate you to take over as a master of marksmanship. Tomoe, you're too bleeding quiet, but your weapon speaks loud enough, I suppose. Keep firing like you do, and I reckon new students will flock to the workshop to follow in your footsteps. This is like one of the few times, is it the first time that I've seen on camera, where a character actually acknowledges like the player character's lack of wordage or whatever. The fact that they're a silent protagonist, or mostly silent, I guess you do some responses. Just those tongue-in-cheek things that they do to say, hey look, you're a player character. They haven't started doing the thing where they acknowledge you nodding all the time, I don't think. Or they might have, I don't know. And there she goes, nodding. Are you truly leaving us? I've never been the kind of bloke that sticks in one place for too long. You've treated me well at the workshop. Better than I deserve, I reckon. But it's time I weighed anchor. I'll be seeing you then. And off he goes. Is he actually in the further quest lines? I don't know. Should your travels bring you back to Ishgard, know you always have a place at the manufactory. At the manufactory, my friend. Shall we be on our way as well? Having trouble reading today, like a lot of trouble. I don't know why. I feel like I'm well rested today. Maybe I need to be on edge to like read better. Well, it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm here to perfectly enunciate every single line. Not here to work on my speaking skills in that way. Just here to work on getting my thoughts out of my mouth. That kind of thing. Alright, Stefanivian. Oh, I guess that entire time I had the sound off. We were missing some ambient noise in that battle. Hopefully it wasn't anything too disruptive to be missing or whatever. I just hope we didn't miss out. I'm not sure what kind of sounds come from ambient noise. I think the wind? You can't hear it right now. But sometimes the wind is one of those ambient noises. Well, I guess it didn't exactly break my concentration, or... what's the word I'm looking for, that phrase? Break the fourth wall? Something like that. Break my immersion. That's what I wanted to say this whole time. Took me like 2 minutes to get that. Again, I'm here to work on getting these words from my brain out of my mouse. It's just hard putting my thoughts into words. And I guess this is just practice for it. Anyway. What an extraordinary turn of events. With these troubles behind us, however, I feel the age of machinistry has finally arrived. And you, Komoi, have all but outgrown the manufactory. With Frost and Saul's departure, there are none who might compete with your skill at firearms. Pray take the lessons you have learned, and make known the machinist trade in every corner of Eorzea. You are, of course, welcome to return to us whenever you desire. We shall be here, ever serving Ishgard as our deadliest spear and sturdiest shield. But before I forget, Rostenthal asked that I encourage you to push the limits of your marksmanship. I believe his exact words were, so that you can blast through any pile of shite, what might stand in your way. I'm getting better at the accent, don't you think? Cool. And that concludes the Machinist quests for Heavensward. To get the level 61 quest through 70, we need to complete that one, which is patch 3.55 or something. The one right before Stormblood, the next expansion. Importantly, we now have this, so we can wear that now. What's this ring? That's for magic. It's probably still better than this one, but I don't like wearing a magic thing on a machinist character. So yeah, this is what we look like now, or at least, this is what the armor that you get for the level 60 stuff looks like. It's basically just Stefanivian's look, with the goggles. Yeah, I guess you can move them up like that. They kind of look better on the forehead, I guess, don't they? They're just too, I don't know, too narrow when you actually wear them over your eyes. And you can dye to make it look better, just to check. If we were to equip this with, like, the same dye colors that we have on our other gear, which is, what is it? Would have been this one. No. What was I just wearing? Here. That is Abyssal Blue dye. Just on the primary. And then the rest, I don't know. Keep the same color, just the pants. To match our previous look. I think it wasn't Abyssal Blue on that, but a darker blue, like Midnight. Yeah. And then maybe the goggles. No, that doesn't change what we want, so... keep that, but... change this to... Abyssal, maybe? Or Royal? Or does it even matter? Maybe that. Just to see what it looks like. Nah, I don't like it. Would I like it if I wore the hat instead? I guess I'd still go with the examiner that I had already over this. Where is that? Here. Oh wait, change this. I don't think that matters, but just in case. Alright, chore's done. And your chore, before we forget. Komoi, the manufactory has never seen so many new recruits. I have even placed firearms into the hands of several curious members of House Samael. Lord Titelgrinch, it seems, has been true to his word, and is working to see our growing force of machinists integrated into Ishgard's defense. Great. We went from almost 0 people in the Machinist Guild, like at that one time when Jor was leaving, to it brimming with tons and tons of machinists, so that means you're free. Everyone else is doing your work now, which means you're free to work on the mana cutter, right? We're holding you to it. You better work on it. As soon as the store closes, Stefanivian is going to turn around and work on the mana cutter. That's exactly what I'm going to pretend. And he's working on it right now. Our mission is complete. We can now join Alfinode in the Waking Sands on this rescue the Sultana or whatever quest. We'll do that in a bit. Well, it'll be like starting next episode, that quest, but I do want to check one thing before we move on. That new thing we got. I could just teleport to Falcon's Nest, but this is pretty quick too, right? Oh no, wait, we have to fly from the north, I forgot, so I thought it'd be just like flying in from down here and then over here. So it does actually take a while. Okay, well, I guess we're doing this. Still pretending that Komori can't use magic after that whole deal with the poisoning and the Sultana and whatever at the end of a Realm Reborn. But now that I'm level 60 at Machinist, I'll probably create some contrived reason as to why she can now use magic sometime soon, when I feel like it. I'll probably stick with this for the majority of a Heavensward though, at least the main story. Like the base story. So yeah, this is the only place I know of where striking dummies are nearby. So now our heated shot looks like this. Okay, we do kind of do a, well, not a flip, but like a 360. I do remember this. This is like something that we stick with for quite a long time. That animation gets replaced later, I think. Doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. Maybe it doesn't. Are we just stuck with this animation forever? I'm pretty sure... Okay, maybe when we get this, that increases the split shot, slug shot, and clean shot, that could actually redo the animation. I'll have to check on my main character if the animation changes from this. Because this one's okay. It like does a hail of bullets, it's nice and all. But I guess it doesn't really feel like it flows well with that flip into this thing. And then you get this flip, which is really cool. So yeah, the beginning and the end, I love those flips. But then this one, the 360 is cool, but all the bullets that kind of surround it, it kind of gets in the way, I feel like. I don't know, just my own personal preference. Okay. Stop that. If we can go back the quick way. And since we're running out of time, I guess I won't actually go ahead and teleport to the Waking Sands. I'll just close off the episode right next to the Aetheryte Plaza. We'll just say that Komori is getting ready to leave. Although standing out here in the cold, I don't like that. Let's retire to that one room, the inn room. It's been a while since we ended the episode there. When was the last time Komori slept in a bed? Like, actually, it's hard to tell canonically when in the main quest, the characters, like, go to bed or whatever. Sometimes it happens on screen, and a lot of the times the quests just flow from one to the other. I guess the last time would have been when we went to camp with Alfinode and Estinian and Asail. Good times. And I guess those times are over now. Asail's gone and, well, at least we still got Estinian waiting on us, but Our little band of 4 feels pretty distant right now. Gilmore is going to think back on those times even though they happened just 3 episodes ago or something like that, and reminisce. Now would be a good time to take a break.